Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975 question there, I guess, because Google's ballsed everything up. Can you remember the toys you got for Christmas as a kid? This is actually a tag response to Interghosthouse. He is my friend list, and I will link his channel and his video in the doohickey down below. Brilliant question in a series of brilliant videos, community videos. I love stuff like that. And he talks about the presents he and his brother got for Christmas as a kid. Now I'm going to put a spin on this because I'm going to talk about the ones I had from 1979 to 1985. Couple of reasons. I was 4 in 1979. Before 1979, not really many memories of Christmas as such, you know, so I can't really talk about what I got. I only have one real memory, which is I got a plastic police trike with a flashing light on the front. And I remember being in the front garden in the snow, because it actually snowed that year at Christmas, and pedaling it and then crying because it wouldn't work in the snow. Give me a break. I mean, who knows what friction is when you're a kid? And I'm going to cut off at 85 because after 85 I started getting more sort of electronic stuff like you know, personal cassette players or Walkmans, or how to build an internal, you know, combustion engine, stuff like that. So there's nothing wrong with that, but for me the most sort of warm and nostalgic memories I have of Christmas are the toys you've got, because let's be honest, that's what Christmas is about, isn't it? It's the toys you get at Christmas. Side note, gotta feel really sorry for my parents. You know, obviously I'm a twin and I have an elder brother, and my twins' birthdays in late October, so the end of the year must have been a proper kick in their wallet. So similar to Interghosthouse, we used to get one main present and then just like a bunch of stocking fillers and stuff like that. Now I can go one better than tell you what I got. I can show you what I got for almost all of these items, because last year I did a video called Vintage Adventures in the Attic. I'll link that down below if you want to go and check it out, but I'm going to rip a load of footage out of that and mix it in this video. I could go back in the attic to get all this stuff, including the one item I can actually show you. Well, there's two items, but one of them's a bike. But two reasons. One, it's balls cold right now, and two, I wankered my back, so there's no way I'm making it through that. Anyway, let's begin. Sorry, yeah, list. 1979, I got Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
Is my Darth Vader vintage Star Wars TIE Fighter. Alright, it looks pretty crappy, but you know, it's spent forever in the attic.
I have a really strong memory of this because I remember my twin brother got the same present. I know there's some weird psychic twin thing going on, but yeah, we both got Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, and I do remember this Christmas, you know, maybe it's the smell and memory thing, because my gran bought myself and my twin the TIE Fighter pilot figure. Now, any Star Wars fan out there, maybe it's a UK thing, I don't know, will probably remember that this is going to sound weird. The TIE Fighter pilot figure is hands down the best smelling Star Wars figure ever. I don't know what they made that bad boy out of, but it smelled fantastic. Or I was getting high as a 4-year-old. 1980, Speak and Spell.
But it's cool anyway. Does anyone else remember Speak and Spell?
Don't get me wrong, I asked for it, it was awesome, it was brilliant. As an adult, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask Ickle Dave, what the hell were you thinking, man? You could have had a rocket, you could have had a robot, you could have had a car, you could have all kinds of crazy shit. Instead, you wanted to be educated. Why didn't you wait to school? 81. Oh, beast this, absolute beast. 80.
My Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back at. How cool is that?
This thing was amazing. This thing was absolutely huge. When I dug it out recently, I still couldn't get over how big it was. It can't have been cheap. And I have a memory of this. I don't know if it was, you know, Christmas when it snowed this year, because it doesn't snow very often in the UK, or didn't back then. Or as an adult, I remember it snowing a lot more then than it does now. But that's memories, isn't it? Yeah, I took it out in the garden when it snowed to replicate the scene from Hoth, and I just remember my mum being properly pissed. In her defence, she probably forked out a lot of hard-earned money on this, and then she looked out the kitchen window and saw me playing with it in the snow and all the stickers peeling off because of the damp. 82 actually got a bunch of little stuff, but the thing I most remember about 82 is I got an Action Man figure, but I got the space figure. Was it Space Commander? For those of you outside the United Kingdom, Action Man was our version of G.I. Joe. For whatever reason, the company that made it, it was exactly the same, exactly the same, but whatever reason the company that made it didn't think that our little British minds could cope with the concept of a GI. So we called him Action Man, because that's what our army was called at the time. But yeah, I love this figure. He had like plastic gloves, plastic boots, but his suit was made out of rubber. And the funny thing is, I did actually find this sort of, well, not a few years ago, about 15 years ago in the attic, and all the rubber had completely and utterly perished off him. It was just goo. So check your wallets, kids, because you don't want that going bad on you. But yeah, I loved that figure, and I loved Action Man. 83. I remember Christmas 83 really well because I had my own room. Up until this time I shared a room with my twin brother, and we had bunk beds, and my parents actually cleaned out like this tiny, I don't even know, I call it a room, I'd probably call it a cupboard. It was so small you could barely fit like a mattress on the floor, but I was adamant that I was grown up and wanted my own room. Grown up then, mind. And so they gave it to me, and I just remember playing with this in it, and that was the Star Wars Rebel Cruiser.
My Return of the Jedi Star Wars Rebel Transport. I remember the Christmas I got this, absolutely blown away. Basically it's a troop car, you know, somewhere to store your figures.
I mean, Star Wars toys were just epic, weren't they, when you were a kid? It's just the scale of them. Nothing else was quite like the scale of a Star Wars toy, and the detail as well was fantastic, and Rebel Cruiser was just utterly fantastic. Mainly remember that Christmas with the room though, but yeah, oh, Rebel Cruiser, fantastic. 84. Oh, this was a beast. I have to hand it to my mum. I don't know how she managed to get all this stuff or track all this stuff down, but she managed to get us everything that was on like the you know, the #1 bestseller list for each Christmas we wanted. Actually, I think I talked to her about Prime. I think she said she queued outside British Home Stores downtown for like 3 hours to get in when it opened because she knew they had a batch of Optimus Prime. How, I don't know, because this is before, you know, internet and stuff like that, but yeah, Optimus Prime, hands down my favourite Transformer ever.
Generation 1 Optimus Prime. Again, alright, the box has seen better days, but frankly, I'm amazed it still has a box, because like I said, I was 8.
85. Oh, this was a joint birthday and Christmas present because it was very, very pricey, and you know, I remember asking for it for my birthday and they said you can't have this, so I said, well, can I have it for Christmas? And they said no, it's too expensive. You can have it for your birthday and Christmas. And I think my gran put in on it as well, but my Riley Burner, oh, my first BMX. But Riley Burners were just shit up. They were the thing to have. They were the BMX to have in this country, at least. And do you remember the one, the red one with the yellow sort of foam pads? I mean, they were brilliant. Foam pads on the crossbar to stop you chilling your face and stuff if you hand planted or face planted or whatever. But Riley Burner, hands down to this day, still my favourite BMX. But actually, I've only ever owned 2. But you know what I mean. I think they still make them, do they? But that's the Christmas presents I most remember. The Christmas presents I most find nostalgic to me as an adult. You know, I have just such warm nostalgic memories towards. So there you go. What Christmas presents did you get when you were a kid? Responses to Interghosthouse, link in the doohickey, and not me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.